All right, guys, let's check out probably one of the coolest titanium GMT, powerful statement Seiko watches that I've handled personally. And big thanks to Exquisite Timepieces, Tyler and Nick, and I can name all the like a bunch of the salespeople that are there. Um, John and uh, Tim and everybody. Like, I can't wait to go down there. I'm going to be down there in October actually for a Seiko event. So hopefully I'll see you there. They're authorized dealer, Exquisite Timepieces, Naples, Florida. They're an authorized dealer for over 60 brands, plus they have a massive pre-owned collection. Link in the description, direct contact information. Let's get to the watch. This is the SNR053. Yeah, it has a hefty retail price. No arguing that. $5,500. But I mean, this is spring drive. This is titanium, and they don't tell you what titanium it is, but it's kind of like grade 5 titanium. If I were to guess, it's using the spring drive 5R66, which is a 72-hour power reserve jumping, or not jumping, but a traveler's GMT where you can jump the hour hand forward and backward. Has the power reserve indicator on there as well, and of course that insanely smooth sweep of the seconds hand because of that spring drive movement. Has a 100-meter water resist screw down crown. Case size, I measure width at 44.8. It's a big watch, but it wears really good. 44.8. Lug to lug is 50.5 millimeter. Thickness, 15. That's on the thick side. I get it, 15 mil. 22 millimeter lug width. Bracelet tapers down to 18 millimeter. I took the plastic off this side so you can see it. It's a fully smooth finish brush, but like smooth. A little bit of polish in the center part of the ramp of the links. And then you have a fold over clasp with micro adjust. Yay! On the fly micro adjust, no tool needed. Doesn't adjust a ton, but gets the job done. No problem. You just push in these, and then actually you can push it in without doing it, but to get it to extend out, you just push those in, slides right out. I'm a fan. Seiko, do more of that. That's all you have to do. You could make it a little bit longer, but I don't think you really need to. But I mean, like, you could add the clasp like one more length out and then get more travel in that. And because you know what I'm saying, the way that the size of the clasp versus the butterfly piece in the middle here, you could go a little bit more, even though that tapers, you could go a little bit more. But that size fine. I don't want to be like too picky, right? So, and the reason I say I think it's grade 5, because look at the polishing on this. You can't, sure, maybe somebody can. If anybody could, it'd be Seiko, but you're not going to typically see a grade 2 titanium polished up and brushed up like this. It's usually at the higher level that you're going to see that. So that's why I say it's probably a grade 5 or something like that in Seiko's arsenal of metals. And then they actually put a scratch resistant coating on top of it. But you have that nice coin edge, flat sapphire crystal, sapphire bezel insert, I believe. Should be loomed. We'll check that here in a little bit. Green and black colorway. That's not a scratch. There's no scratches on this. It's just little lints and stuff like that here. Frame date window, black with a white print. And then you have that very dark black, or extremely dark green, but I'm assuming black. And then it gradients down to green in the lower portion. It's a little tricky to catch here in the studio lights, but I assure you, it's still dark, but it looks amazing. It is a very good colorway. And I like that they didn't do a gold tone on all of the markers in the handset. They reserved it just for the GMT hand there, the 24-hour hand. Also, you'll notice that the handset is flat. So a lot of the more entry-level, all the way up to the semi-expensive Seiko watches, when they do their hands, they'll be kind of like split down the middle and beveled, or they'll be polished on one side and brushed on the other. This handset is just brushed across the whole thing. I kind of like that more. The other ones, handsets that Seiko use are arguably better at reflecting light at different angles, but this one just looks more refined. You can tell the handset is very sharp. I don't have a loop here, but when I look really close, I see no imperfections. And I'm sure when you look super, super close, you might see some, but beyond the naked eye, zoomed in a little bit, you still see no imperfections. It is a US special edition, not a limited edition. I know these are slightly difficult to get from when I was talking to the crew at Exquisite. They don't receive a lot of these. I will say, I don't know, can you hear that? Winding a spring drive is really weird. I would never say it's like pleasurable. It's not like a satisfying click or anything like that. It's its own creature. I don't know how to explain it, but I wanted to pop this crown out for a couple of reasons. One, I'm going to show you how, moving the hour hand that it is jumping, but also they got a little red band on there on the tube letting you know that the crown's not screwed in. It's only 100-meter water resist, even though it looks like a 300-meter diver. But you go one position out and you can just go backward or forward with the hour hand, and that is also how you advance or retard the date. So, great traveler's watch for sure. It's not needed. I've been, on video many times saying that, a caller's GMT is more than adequate for tracking second time zone or third time zone. But it's nice that we have options, because some people just hardcore prefer this style, and I get it. I do enjoy it as well. It is a friction bezel. I think that's kind of smart on Seiko's part. They could have done clicks, but friction gets the job done, and you don't have any misalignments. So, whew, we take that out of the window. I can zoom in a little bit more, just so you can see what I'm talking about. It is a very good looking dial and handset. Nicely done with the green on the bezel as well. All right, let's zoom back out. Let's pop this guy on my 7 1/4 inch wrist so you can see what that looks like. Happen to be wearing a Seiko today, actually. Pretty wild one. I am a Seiko fanboy, guys. And if you are, definitely check out Exquisite, because they carry like all of them, the entire line, and Grand Seiko. So they pretty much are going to have you covered. Plus they have a bunch of pre-owned stuff, like I said. Now the thickness and the size and everything are slightly mitigated because of the weight. The weight is only 146 grams with all of the links. So I'm going to take a few links out if I'm going to size it for me. So it's going to reduce the weight a little bit more. But that's a nice lightweight watch. So even though it's a little bit larger, you will be able to pull it off because of the weight. Let's give it a quick blast with the UV light. Let's kill the studio lights and check out the lume. Oh, you can kind of see that green right there as soon as we started to go into low light. I was going to try to get outside video of this. I just didn't have time. Killer lume, and it's loomed everywhere. Thank you, Seiko, for looming the bezel. We want it. We've always loved the Seiko lume, so we're never going to complain about more of it. Hope to see you guys down in Naples, Florida at Exquisite Timepieces. If I'm not there when you go, just tell them I sent you. See you on the next vid.